Well, what's going on, YouTubers? It's the Natural Born Thriller, and for this video, this will be a topic about more about the whole thing of Roman Reigns returning to WWE after 4 months of battling leukemia, where we didn't know what type of leukemia he has, and he didn't mention what type of leukemia that Roman Reigns had. So basically, this will be a recap. Also, it will be some review, and also what pertains to more updates about Roman Reigns' leukemia whole situation, what pertains to him returning to Raw, making that announcement, about him being in Good Morning America, talking more about him coming back and the whole leukemia he went through, and then the whole thing about leukemia care on Twitter, and then with some information that I got after listening to Solid Monster Sounds Off from from yours truly, Jason Solomon. So yeah, what I'm about to do, I'm gonna recap the whole thing about Roman Reigns returning from last week on Raw. He had a big ovation. Everyone's giving him a, a welcome home, type of reaction for Roman Reigns. All nothing but love, support, and all that. They were happy to see him, and I was happy to see him too. After the whole leukemia thing he was going through. So it's good to see Roman Reigns. Still not a fan of him. I made that very clear. But we'll see how that changes as it goes by. But I doubt I'll be a fan of him. But I'm not gonna hate on him anymore. The hate has been over since October when he made that announcement that he had leukemia, and I'll never go back to hate him again. But I'm still gonna question him and also analyze his thing about about his in-ring ability. You know, for example, that Superman punch, which I thought was trash, where he did how he looked like shit later on that night. But basically, again, recapping about this whole thing about he's giving high fives to fans, hugging his mother, hugging his aunt, and getting to the ring and telling them how he misses this and all that. He felt you know natural saying that it was just Roman Reigns going through emotions right now, and our fans was just loving everything he's doing right now. Basically so showing support and all that. And then he gets to the whole thing about um the leukemia thing. He didn't actually mention what type of leukemia he had. He didn't mention the treatment that he had. But all he said is that what pertains to this update, that is back in remission, and he's back, and you can believe that. Well, he actually said he didn't say his catchphrase "believe that," but I'm just saying that believe that. So there you go. That was a recap of what happened on Raw, and then we get to what happened on Good Morning America. And I think before they got to the interview and all that, obviously they talked to him before all this and everything. So he gets on Good Morning America being interviewed, and talks about basically recap a little bit about what happened on Raw, about his return and everything, and then he talks about the whole thing with leukemia, where he didn't talk much more about that. He basically told them that some great support with some great doctors and great treatments and all that. And didn't mention anything about what type of leukemia he had, and now he doesn't have to. Whatever type of leukemia he was going through is his business and the doctor's business. And you have to respect that. But yeah, there was much said on there. It was like I guess a family time that he had with this whole interview for Good Morning America, and that's all there is to it for that one. And there you go. That was basically a review about that one. So not much to say about that interview. I just thought that the interview was it was alright, but I was also left in this whole thing with okay, he didn't give much an update about that. So maybe someone down the line will get an update of it. And sure enough, we do. I'll get to that momentarily. Now, if you're on Twitter, and basically if you have a Twitter account, obviously, a Twitter handler either way, and you want to know more about this whole leukemia thing, just go to the search bar and search for leukemia care at Leukemia Care UK, and you see there's a pinned tweet about the whole situation about Roman Reigns, and it tells you everything about Roman Reigns and what he went through. And the reason why this is important is because you got fans out there saying this is fake, this is all work and all that. They did all this because Vince McMahon wanted to get Roman Reigns over and blah 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 and all that. And in the asylum, we also we all were speculating that it could be a work, it could be fake, not because of Roman Reigns, but because of Vince McMahon. Because we all know how Vince McMahon is. We all know how shameless he can be. Um, so, but when we see him returning, we know some things. We know about something about Roman Reigns. He still looks the exact same. There's no weight loss. There's no hair loss. There's no difference of Roman Reigns. He still looks exactly the same. You know, and that's why I came across this whole information where I was questioning this, by the way, where it pertains to hair loss and everything. And their answer to this one is that from Leukemia Care on Twitter, saying that it will cause some hair loss. It will also cause some hair to thicken. I mean to thinning, meant to say thinning. Or it may not cause any loss, some hair loss. And I say to myself, wait a minute, what are you talking about? Of course it does. That's what what cancer does to you. You know, and then the whole thing with the weight loss, you lose weight, but also you also gain weight because you have leukemia. And I say to myself, wait a minute, how is that possible? Again, leukemia is a blood type of cancer and all that. And again, we don't know what type of leukemia Roman Reigns has because Roman Reigns doesn't. It's not telling us that. Not even the doctors are telling us that. Again, it's their business. It's their personal business. If they don't want to share that information, then they have the right to. There's no law to say they had to tell us that. But I was looking at all this and everything, and there's a lot more than that too. That's talked about here about leukemia. But you can also read it elsewhere. You don't have to go on Twitter to know some. But because this person who's got a Twitter handle called again Leukemia Care, which has got a blue check, by the way, and I can show it to you right now. And by the way, don't be creeped out about Roman Reigns about this Jeff I'm about to show you right now. That blue check means is verified. I'm assuming that's the a verified legit person. It's a real person. So, and also not just from this tweet, but from this too. Let me show right now. Okay, here we go. Proof that this is a legit thing, but at the same time, I'm saying to myself, something's fishy here. Something doesn't feel right here about this whole thing about this person, whoever was in charge of this, is explaining about this whole thing with Roman Reigns, with this whole leukemia thing. And I was still after were things to the asylum, basically, from Mr. Rican J21's YouTube channel. You can check that that episode out, and you can also if you want to check out that one, the one thing about we talk about Roman Reigns is at the very end that we talked about it. But basically, I was saying to myself, this is a little fishy and everything. Like this makes no sense. I explained on it too when we did the asylum show, basically, which is episode 83, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but I gotta double check though, which I'll do right now. My mistake. Episode 86 was the Asylum show, where it pertains to we talk more about Roman Reigns, not just from me for doing my own video, but also from Mr. Rican J21 for doing his own video, and then where it pertains to anyone else's thoughts about Roman Reigns' leukemia situation. From the Asylum, that will be part of the Asylum show, basically. So, yeah. And now let me get to the one part where I got more information about Roman Reigns' leukemia thing. Because after listening to Jason Solomon from Solomon Sounds Off, he basically explained, I believe a friend of his, if I'm not mistaken, either a friend of his or someone else's friend, other friends, whatever, of theirs, about having a leukemia, which is an acute leukemia. Because again, there's a lot of different types of leukemia. I'm not gonna mention much more. I'm not gonna mention a lot of it, but the one leukemia that that Jason Solomon talk about in Some Monster Sounds Off, that pertains to the whole Roman Reigns topic about his leukemia, is that there's a lot of different type of leukemia, and there's a leukemia that some also talk about where it pertains to an acute leukemia that this person um end up putting into remission in weeks. I'm pretty sure some monster basically said about 4 weeks or 5 weeks, whatever, that was put back in remission. And what I'm thinking about, when he said that, because some monster he doesn't lie about this, because he's been to a couple of people that he knows that had leukemia, had that type of illness, that cancer. Like, for example, his mother had leukemia, but unfortunately, she didn't survive, the second time. Um, and I think some also may have mentioned about his blood cancer that he was diagnosed with about, I guess, 2 years ago. I'm assuming. Um, and as of right now, he's doing okay with that one now. And talk about, again, talk about a friend of his, or maybe a friend who's got a friend of theirs, whoever, who had an acute leukemia that he put back in remission in a matter of weeks. So what I'm thinking about when Jason Solomon said this on some sounds off about the whole Roman Reigns topic of leukemia, is that Roman Reigns, that may be the leukemia that Roman Reigns have, the acute leukemia. Because if there's some other type of leukemias, it will take a long time to put it back in remission. And again, what retains Roman Reigns dealing with this whole leukemia thing, you need to have the money and the resources, and some good doctors that dealt with these type of studies to put leukemia back in remission. Now, just because it's back in remission what pertains to Roman Reigns does not mean that is cure, because again, there is no cure what pertains to having leukemia. There are scientists and other people that are doing their research studies, whatever, and they've been obviously they've been doing this for years. It's just like other type of disease to find cure, to find a cure, to get rid of them, instead of just put back a remission on that. But the point is, there's no cure of these type of illness unless there is a cure out there to find. But the question is, will there ever be a cure to find? A cure to find to get rid of these diseases? I don't know. That only God knows, and only time will tell. But the point is, Roman Reigns leukemia is back in remission. So, and the whole thing with Roman Reigns, which I didn't get to mention this too, by the way, from the asylum, and when I did the solo video of it as well. I thought to myself, after someone on YouTube said Son of Roman Reigns was the man to come back by Vince McMahon, and I said to myself, wait a minute, really? Vince McMahon just demand him to come back on that, not without knowing his update and everything? And then I found out that Roman Reigns, after he put his leukemia back in remission, he called Vince McMahon and said he wants to come back. And Vince McMahon was like, okay, let's do it. And Vince McMahon, he's not gonna turn him down to come back, because Roman Reigns is Vince McMahon's guy. Roman is the guy to Vince McMahon. Roman Reigns is the company guy, to put on the map. But there you go. And that being said, folks, hopefully Roman Reigns is back. Hopefully that leukemia is back in remission, because if that leukemia thing is not in remission again, and Roman Reigns accidentally bleeds, in wrestling, back in the ring, and then the blood spills out and everything, spreading that illness, that's dangerous. And I also said before that if this whole thing was a fake and a work and everything, then the WWE will be in a lot of major trouble with backlashes, with bankruptcy, basically cancellations. Either way, WWE will be done if that ends up being false information, basically, about Roman Reigns leukemia, and not because of Roman Reigns, but because of Vince McMahon, because we all know how he is. But during this time, that's not the case at all. After hearing this information, from Jason Solomon, from Solomon Sounds Off, check it out if you want. I'm plugging his stuff. Check it out if you he's the best at what he does right now on podcasts. So yeah, there you go. So this right there should to give you more details and more, and also to give you enough information that this whole leukemia that Roman Reigns have is not fake, it's not work, it is legit. And there you go. So there you go. And that being said, thank you all for watching. And by the way, I apologize for doing this a little late, but I need to gather more information too. By the way, where it pertains to this whole thing, and imagine if I didn't get this information, and I would have done a video about it. I would have done another video about that one to correct myself for that one, you know. So there you go. With that being said, hope that was enough information about that one, about this topic that I just did. So there you go. Thank you for watching. It's the Natural Born Driller, saying peace on the streets. And what pertains to this whole Roman Reigns leukemia thing, you know, what pertains to spreading the awareness about leukemia. Remember that T-shirt, that new T-shirt Roman Reigns got since that was made last week. We fight, we overcome, we believe. So there you go. You know, not the money will not just go to Roman Reigns. Now it will not just go to WWE, but it will also go to the awareness of this disease what pertains to leukemia. So it's going to be for a good cause. I just hope that WWE doesn't go overboard with this. Hope they don't exploit this too many times. So we'll see, because we don't know how WWE does with that one. You know, with Stephanie McMahon, philanthropy is the future of marketing. But yeah, there you go. So yeah, I'm glad Roman Reigns is back. I'm glad Roman Reigns put back in remission, and let's see how he's being booked in WWE with him returning. He's getting positive reactions. Let's just see how long that lasts. So that being said, and again, thank you all for watching. Natural Born Driller. Excuse me. Peace on the streets. Believe that.